We are watching the tropics this evening. Hi, I'm Mike Naso with the latest on the tropics on this Tuesday evening, July 25th, 2023. We were watching a couple of features and I wanted to give you an update on them. The first feature is that wave that moved through the Caribbean islands. We were watching it the other day. It has completely fizzled out. It's going to die in the Caribbean Sea. It's not a feature we're going to have to deal with anymore. The second area we're watching is another low chance for development. It's a trough between the Bahamas and Bermuda, and it should move gradually west or west-northwest towards Florida or the southeast coast. There's a possibility for development, but it's very, very slim. The best chance for development right now is probably the third area, which is a wave that's going to be leaving south here of the Cape Verde Islands. They call it the Cabo Verde Islands since 2013, but when I was growing up, it was the Cape Verde Islands, so I call it both. South of those islands, there's a wave that we're going to watch as it moves towards the west-northwest. It could do something in the Atlantic, and we have some model support for it, and I'll show you that in just a second. The wave in the Caribbean, this is what's left of it, completely shredded. Look at these winds here, this wind shear ripping right into it. There's nothing discernible of what was once Invest 95L, forecast by some models to become a hurricane. It never even developed into a tropical depression, and we are not going to have to worry about that one. The wave between Bermuda and the Bahamas is this troughiness here, and that's showing a little bit more interest this evening. As I zoom in here on the visible satellite imagery, the sun's starting to go down, but there is a twist there in the atmosphere. I'm not sure that's at the low levels. But whenever you have some kind of troughiness spinning over very warm waters, we might see development. However, the weaker it stays, the more likely it is to drag across Florida into the Gulf of Mexico, or kind of just get picked up here in this other troughiness and head towards the eastern seaboard. Either way, that's a low chance, but it is something to keep an eye on. And the most interesting situation is what the long-range models are showing. Now, this is the GFS model. This is as of 18Z, and if you watch, this would be 108 hours from now. Watch what happens on the lower right hand of your screen there. Watch as we have a hurricane come up north of the Turks and Caicos Islands, strengthen into a major hurricane right near the Bahamas, and it heads very, very close to Georgia and South Carolina. And then watch what happens right about August 5th. You see that turn? Very quickly. North, northeast, and right out to sea as it gets captured by a trough. Nevertheless, that would be a powerful hurricane taking a track very dangerously close to the Bahamas and the southeastern seaboard of the United States. Now, you need to take it with a grain of salt. We don't have anything there yet, but there is this wave leaving, and this could be the wave. It is the wave that GFS model is showing in the long run, making it towards the southeast coast of the United States, and there could be indications that it would be one of those scenarios where we have to watch, will the trough be there to take it out to sea, or would you have a rebuilding high pressure to shove it further west? Again, it's a long way away, but this time of year, we're getting closer to August. By the time this system gets over towards the western Atlantic, we could potentially see development, and that is why the National Hurricane Center is noting it already near the west coast of Africa, but not until it gets here towards 50, 60 west will we have the best chance for any development. Now, the reason I'm very concerned with this hurricane season thus far are the water temperatures. These are different weather stations, buoys there south of Florida. If I click on one of them, Little Rabbit Key, Florida, we are looking at water temperatures right now of 93.2 degrees. If we go further north here towards Trout Cove, Florida, we are looking at water temperature 93 degrees. If we go off the southeast coastline, let's say that system off Africa does develop and it heads towards off Georgia. Here we go, southeast, 40 miles southeast of Savannah, Georgia. You have a water temperature right now of 85.8 degrees. So we have water temperatures 86, 90, 96, up to 100 degrees in the Atlantic Basin in these areas where we will likely see hurricanes form throughout the season, and that is troubling because the hotter the water, the more fuel for a hurricane. Off St. Petersburg, you're looking at a water temperature at 84.6. I mean, it is bath water out there anywhere I click on. Off the coast of Cape Hatteras, 82 degrees, and that's pretty far north. And remember, Hurricane Don developed very far north and was able to strengthen. So again, giving a word to wise people, I tell you, be on alert. I'm watching the date of the calendar get closer and closer to the heart of hurricane season, and we could have quite a bit of storms on our doorstep, despite the strong El Nino that's likely to develop. So again, we're going to watch our wave here get shredded. We'll watch the system here between Bermuda and the Bahamas, but the real feature I'm going to watch is this wave leaving Africa. If anything does develop, it would probably be from that. I'm Mike Naso with the latest on the tropics. Stay tuned.